Assalamu alaikum everyone. So here are a few past paper questions that I have found out for you guys especially, and these questions basically aim to help you guys in making the demand and supply diagrams, because these diagrams are tested in every paper. So there must be a PPC diagram in the paper, or there'll be a demand and supply diagram in the paper, and you guys will be tested on that, and you have to make the demand and supply diagram, and usually in every paper. So here this question is basically from November 2019, and this is paper 2 variant 2 question number 4C. And here they are saying in the question, analyze with the help of a demand and supply diagram how a fall in price of cotton will affect the market for cotton shirts. So what you guys need to know is that the first thing that you should be clear about this, that the demand and supply diagram you're making is for cotton shirts. It's not for cotton, because they have mentioned in the question that affect the market for cotton shirts. So that means whatever products you are showing the effect on is the demand and supply diagram that you are making. Basically, you're making the demand and supply diagram for that particular good or a service. So this demand and supply diagram is going to be for cotton shirts, and I have made the original supply curve and the demand curve, and the original equilibrium price is P and equilibrium quantity is Q, and basically this is the intersection point. And you guys should know that y-axis is always price, x-axis is always quantity. What you guys need to know is that you need to label this diagram very correctly. And one more thing, for the question that says analyze with the help of a demand and supply diagram, the demand and supply diagram carries 4 marks and your analysis carries 2 marks. So what you guys need to know, okay, and 4 marks, how are the 4 marks divided? So there's this marks for the axis. So axes which are labeled correctly, y-axis is price, x-axis is quantity. Then we have demand and supply curve. So original demand curve and the original supply curve. So demand curve is going to be a downward sloping demand curve is going to be downward sloping, and supply curve is going to be upward sloping. So you guys need to label that correctly. Number 3, the third thing here is the original equilibrium. So the original equilibrium here is price is P and quantity is Q. You guys can also write this as price P1, quantity Q1, and demand curve is, you can label it as D1, supply curve you can label it as S1, but you can also do this just like I have done, price P, quantity Q, supply curve, original supply curve S, original demand curve D. And basically this is going to carry 1 mark, axis is going to carry 1 mark. Then we have, if you have shown the shift correctly, this will be 1 mark. And then you need to show the new equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. So new equilibrium you guys need to show, and you guys need to use arrows in order to show which the new equilibrium is, which I will do for you guys for this question. They are saying here price of cotton. So the factor that they are saying here is price of cotton. So you guys need to think in this, that let's say there is cotton shirts. So cotton shirts will be produced out of cotton. So if cotton has reduced in price, that is going to affect the cost of production of producing cotton shirts, right? Because cotton is a raw material for cotton shirts. So in that way you must think that, okay, this is a factor that shifts the supply curve. It's not a factor that shifts the demand curve, because as you guys know, and we have discussed this in previous videos, that we have discussed the factors, and when you see the factors that shift the demand curve, you guys will see here incomes, changes in taxes on incomes, changes in the price of a substitute, changes in the price of complements, advertising, changes in fashion and taste, population change, other factors. All of these are factors that shift the demand curve. Then for supply curve, changes in the cost of production. So here we are, changes in cost of production. This is exactly the change in the price of cotton. The fall in the price of cotton is basically going to reduce the cost of production of the producer. Therefore the supply curve will shift towards the right. So the supply shifts to S1. This will be my new supply curve, that is S1, and this will be my new equilibrium. I need to point it out for the examiner. I need to tell the examiner that this will be my new equilibrium, and if you guys see the price will fall, you will show this by an arrow. The quantity will increase, you will show this by an arrow, and then you need to write an analysis. So what you guys will write for analysis is that cotton is a raw material for cotton shirts firstly. So you'll write here cotton is a raw material for cotton shirts. If the price of cotton falls, that will reduce the cost of production of supplier. So now it's of the suppliers. So now it is cheaper to produce cotton shirts and it is cheaper to supply cotton shirts. So now suppliers will be more motivated to supply cotton shirts, and therefore the supply curve for cotton shirts will shift towards the right. And you guys will write that because of this, the price is going to fall. So the new equilibrium price is a lower price, and that lower price actually motivates consumers to buy more cotton shirts. So what is happening here is, the first thing here is that the cost of raw material, that is cotton, is going down, because of which the supplier's cost of production is going down, because of which the supplier is more motivated to produce more cotton shirts. And that means, because if the supplier produces more cotton shirts, in that case, if the supplier produces more cotton shirts and sells more cotton shirts, the supplier is going to end up with more profit. And if cost of production goes down, that actually motivates the supplier to produce more. What will happen is that the price will go down because the supply is increasing now, and because of this there will be an extension in the demand curve. So if you guys see, this thing here is the extension that is happening in the demand curve. Because the price is falling, the quantity demanded is rising. This is an extension that is happening in the demand curve. There's a shift in the supply curve, but the demand curve is extending here. So you guys will write that the price will fall, the price for cotton shirts will fall, and the quantity traded will increase. So that's it for the analysis, and you guys will not believe this is going to get you 6 marks. So this honestly is a favorite part of my basically it's my favorite part of the paper, because it's like not too much of writing, it's not making a lot of paragraphs, it's not essay length answers, it's just a diagram that you need to make, and then you need to just write a small analysis here of 4 or 5 lines. That's going to get you full marks. And then that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.